Swallowed Star 414 Madness. Savagery. Battle, battle. Savage was like a war god from the universe, roaring, and his eyes were gleaming red. Under the opponent's influence, Luo Feng's eyes were completely ice-cold. His entire demeanor was like a beast being suppressed. Clang. Brandishing of blades. Savage was barefooted. Every step he took had the strength and weight of 10 million kilograms. Even the arena with its diameter of 10 kilometers trembled as he took his steps. With just 2 steps, the tall and sturdy Savage had already reached right before Luo Feng, and that blade infused with ground yellow energy sliced straight at him. Stepping on the soaring shuttle, Luo Feng fiercely retreated. His eyes staring hard, gritting his teeth, he squeezed out the words, "Kill." Xiao. A golden light shot out from the dark golden long rod on his back. The 9 golden blades with complex engravings on them swiftly moved. Threads of gold weaved through the entire body, swiftly forming a golden blade. Compared to the blade from 2 months ago during the elimination round, the current golden blade Luo Feng had formed was much more stable and formidable. Rumble. A golden rainbow shot towards Savage. Break. Savage's expression struggled. He roared softly while brutally slicing straight at the golden rainbow. Under the pressure of his yellow energy flow, along with Luo Feng's eyes gleaming ice-cold, the golden rainbow almost seemingly wanted to dodge this blade. Dang! Even though it seemed like it was about to dodge it, that blade seemed to move a few inches and directly slice that golden rainbow, causing it to be smashed away. The entire golden blade trembled for a bit, almost as though it was about to fall apart. Savage couldn't help but take a few steps back too, his grip on the blade too seemed to have weakened. Big Brother and Second Brother were right. This punk's attack is extremely heavy. There hasn't been anyone so far who was able to almost break apart my golden blade with just one slice. From far in mid-air while controlling the golden blade, Luo Feng's expression changed slightly. Gold, as strong and piercing as the sun? Savage stuck out his tongue and licked his thick lips. Following which he violently roared, as though he was extremely excited. Savage! Savage! The 1 billion spectators and the countless people were caught up in the moment, all roaring with all their might. Within the arena. Go and die. Luo Feng was still cold and not affected at all. As he coldly snorted, immediately the golden blade floated again and accelerated, becoming a golden rainbow and rushing towards Savage. Savage let out another roar and rushed straight towards it. His pace fluctuated. His silhouette became peculiar. Dodging time and again, it was completely erratic, swiftly closing in on Luo Feng. No matter what, I cannot let him get close. Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle and increased the distance between them. The golden rainbow once again rushed straight at Savage. Dang! 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 Clashing with him time and again, almost like moving the ground and shaking the mountains. However, Savage seemed to be borrowing the energy from the clashes to change his direction and swiftly closing in on Luo Feng. One had to know that at his level, one flash was a few hundred meters to kilometers of distance. And Luo Feng couldn't go too far, since with too much distance it would be extremely taxing to control his spirit weapon, which in turn would allow Savage the chance to draw close and attack. Luo Feng was after all a controller, a long-ranged fighter and not proficient at close combat. Incredible movement. Luo Feng worked hard to dodge time and again, it was extremely dangerous. Luckily relying on the comprehension of the gold origin laws, Using the soaring shuttle had gotten much easier, and his speed and flexibility had improved much more than before. This Luo Feng is really quick at fleeing. Savage started to feel nervous. Normally I'm able to immediately close in and kill a controller. However, this Luo Feng's board spirit weapon is extremely nimble and flexible, dodging me every time. The spectators in the arena, all 1 billion of them, were all stunned by this scene. These two, one strong and brutal. Even though he was charging head first, his movements were very peculiar, almost like an invincible war god as he chased down Luo Feng time and again. The other was like an exceptional master, floating and dodging time and again against the opponent, making him unable to attack. At the same time controlling the spirit weapon to attack over and over. It was two completely different styles of fighting. One was a brutal fighter, while the other was a long-ranged attacker. Savage is too strong. If this madman slows down even just a little, just one slice would probably finish him. This madman is really strong. Every time he clashes against that attack, that Savage's body will definitely feel the tremors. In fact, he may even be already injured. If this goes on, Savage will definitely lose. Whether it was the 1 billion spectators in the arena or the countless people in the countless galaxies watching the broadcast all over, it did not matter what they deduced and concluded. Luo Feng and Rong Jun in the arena knew best about the predicament of their opponent. Lightning-fast attacks were exchanged over and over. This carried on for a minute before stopping. Savage stood in the arena and stared at the distant Luo Feng. Luo Feng too had stopped, not continuing his attack. My hand? Savage creased his eyebrows, feeling soreness in his entire right arm. The area between the thumb and the index finger had already ripped apart. Matching force with force time and again. Every attack was extremely terrifying. If it were a normal genius, just one clash would have broken his entire arm. During the previous matches, when Luo Feng used the golden blade with just one attack, he had broken the opponent's entire arm. As one of the 9 godly weapons, using the Nanshan armament while combining origin laws and attacking, just how terrifying was that power? And Savage was well known for his brutality as well. Every slash he threw had cut right through every opponent. Two incredibly strong forces had clashed head-on. Continuously for about 10 times. I can't go on like this. If this goes on, my right arm will become useless. Savage stared hard at Luo Feng. I have to bear the brunt of every clash. Yet, he's just a spirit reader, the clashes don't even affect his body at all. I'm definitely losing out. In mid-air, dressed in dark gray armor, Luo Feng was shocked. Even after 10 continuous clashes, he's actually completely fine. Using the Nanshan armament and going full force eats up a lot of my spirit energy. These 10 attacks have used up more than half of my spirit energy. If this happened in reality, everything could be provided for with his core. He didn't have to worry about his spirit energy running out at all. However, in the virtual universe world, his body was designed according to the virtual universe's standard. Every person's body and spirit energy was the same. Even though he could recover his spirit energy naturally every second, this speed and level of recovery of a star level 9 paled by far in comparison to the golden horned beast's core. He had met with a difficulty. Savage's right hand was injured, he couldn't carry on meeting force with force either. Luo Feng's had less than half of his spirit energy left, he didn't dare keep dragging this on. What to do? Bated breaths. The entire arena went silent as two of them held their breath and stared at each other from afar. Even the 1 billion spectators were silent as they watched. And the Gonwu Universe country, the trillions of universe humans watching this pinnacle fight broadcast, were all incomparably nervous and waiting in anticipation. Virtual universe, Gonwu continent, the largest construct in one of the buildings on a floating island above. Within that construct was a large hall. The entire floor surface of that hall was made of a dark greenish-black peculiar-looking crystal stone. On it were 64 slashes, which gave off a flicker that enticed people's souls. It made the entire hall give off a natural and yet a dream-like peculiar aura. Countless thrones were separated in there, dispersed in an orderly fashion. In front of the big hall was a large screen. On it was the broadcast of Luo Feng and Rong Jin's battle. Virtual Universe Company actually placed both of them on the 00001 island. These two punks, their strengths are really not bad. However, they still can't be considered as the top of our Gonwu Universe country's level. This little bit of strength can't make it to the top 10. However, the top 100 or so, that's more like it. Blurry and scattered throughout the thrones were a bunch of men and women. Some tall while others tiny, some old and some young. The one thing they had in common was that their auras were all incomparably strong. Some blazing while others ice cold, this group of people with their incredible life spans held the top positions within the Gonwu Universe country, sat together and discussed. Not interesting. I still thought there'd be some surprise. Same level as the previous years. Just average. This group of great existences talked very casually. Within the arena, Luo Feng and Savage had been silent for a total of 20 seconds, finally breaking the stalemate. As the arena duels at most lasted 5 minutes, the longer time dragged on. The space would shrink more to the point where Luo Feng, who needed to dodge constantly, would be at a disadvantage. Under the continuous attack from the Nanshan armament, you can still block. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with madness. I respect you, hence. Luo Feng raised both his arms and pointed at Savage. Wang. A golden light shot out from behind Luo Feng's back from the dark golden long rod, swiftly forming in mid-air. This scene caused everyone in the arena and everyone watching the broadcast, even the group of great undying, to stare with their eyes gleaming. What? Savage's face could barely contain his shock. Second golden blade? Right. In front of Luo Feng was a floating golden blade which had formed early on in the match. Yet, right now in mid-air, a second blade was taking shape. Form. Luo Feng grit his teeth. His expression was grim, as his consciousness had split, having to use his full strength to control both golden blades. Nanshan armament, also known as the 9-level Hun Tian Yen, had a total of 9 levels to unleash. The first level was Golden Blade. The second level was the Sky-Piercing form. The first level itself was the easiest. Even domain lords who didn't understand the origin laws could use their strong spirit energy to form it. Of course, when one's spirit energy wasn't as strong, they had to rely on sufficient willpower and law origin comprehension to form it. The first form, during the elimination stage, Luo Feng was already barely able to form it in reality. The second form, Sky-Piercing form, was hundreds to thousands of times harder. The Sky-Piercing form required unleashing 9 golden blades and later combining these together, forming a golden true blade. Different from the illusionary form of the first level, as it condenses the energy and forms a 1-inch long golden true blade. This golden true blade's power was extremely immense. At this time, it had the right to be called sky-piercing. Hence, Luo Feng had been trying from early on to bring out 2 golden blades. After all, only through unleashing 9 golden blades did they actually gain enough power to condense and become reality, making the sky-piercing form. In reality, I'm only a star level 7 spirit reader. My spirit energy strength isn't strong enough, and I'm unable to unleash 2 blades. However, in the virtual universe, my spirit energy is star level 9. Much stronger than in reality. My spirit energy is much stronger than reality. I have a higher guarantee of unleashing it. From the elimination till now, over 2 months had already passed, during which time I've been training rigorously. Even before this arena duel, I already had a guarantee of unleashing 2 blades. Luo Feng looked at Savage, roaring loudly, "Savage! Receive this!" Rumble! Rumble! The 2 golden blades, one on the left and one on the right, became 2 golden rainbows and rushed straight towards Savage.